There is an old saying that every crisis provides both danger and opportunity. So that is what we are focusing on this video today. How to embrace the opportunity and strengthen your resilience. Whether somebody hurt your feeling or life has handed you some setback or disappointments, resilience is the ability to bounce back with a positive attitude. It's so easy to say than do. And building resilience is really like a kind of going to the gym. If you go to the gym and you pick up light weight, you don't grow in your strength. If you want bigger muscle, you must have big challenges. A lot of the time, many people is like, why me? Why me? And that is why life is giving you a big challenges. And this is the opportunities for you to build the strength, build the muscle, so you can handle more in the future for something better yet to come. A lot of people say money is energy. And according to many rich people or successful people, they did say that if you want to have a lot of money, in order for you to hold on to the money, you need to have a strong muscle and you need to build the resilience, the inner self, the inner strength and the foundation in you in order to hold so much. If you don't have this muscle within you or the solid foundation within you, the money will be gone. So that's why, according to research, they find that many people who win a lottery and 90% of these lottery winners, within 3 years, they get broke again. Money is energy. And money will only go to the energy that attracts it. If you don't have a positive energy, even though you get the money by chance, by luck, the money will be gone. If you don't believe me, look at your life right now. We all have a set point. So if your set point about money or about a soulmate is maybe your money set point is you make 100,000 a year. And no matter how hard you work, and no matter how many overtimes you do, and no matter how much car or things that you sell, your money set point at the end of the year will always be almost the same. Maybe 1 or 2 or 5,000 more, or maybe 1 or 2 or 5,000 less. So it's always around that set point, unless we build a muscle in order to hold more. That is what we call by build the capacity within you. Life is similar. You don't build strength unless you are facing challenges. That is why challenge is a part of life. We grow through it. These difficult moments, if you're having it right now, are the opportunities to remember who you are and strengthen your ability to provide more to the world. But you have to start with giving more to yourself. So how do I give more to myself and how do I build the resilience? Number 1, examine your reaction. Building resilience requires the ability to look between your reactions to life and your responses to life. Reactions are automatic. Responses are chosen. But it takes work to notice our reactions and not immediately act on them. Let's say you have a disappointment today or a failure or someone reject you. You don't want to spend the rest of your life feeling guilty, angry, or sad. Nobody wants to feel those feelings. Those feelings are feelings of pain. And as human, we are naturally designed to avoid pain. But what actually helps us in building resilience is embracing the pain within us. If we want to strengthen ourselves and strengthen our mental health, particularly at the time of crisis and change, we have to step to a higher level where we can embrace the pain. For example, some people, their immediate reactions to pain is to blame, shame, and complain. They want to blame other people. They want to feel like a victim. Other people go into a fear of unknown. They worry about what might happen, and their mind begin going to spin. Other people feel guilty, and they ask themselves, why was I not prepared? I should have done it differently. There are some of the dynamic that goes on in our reactive brain. We have an emotional primitive reaction, all on automatic. For example, let's say I step on your foot. Your reaction might be, you hurt me. Now I am going to step on your foot and hurt you. Maybe then you will understand and stop doing it. These automatic reactions start as a way of communicating our pain at times where we did not have the words. But today we have words, and what we can do with our words is so powerful. We can understand our reactions with words and use those words to self-reflect and self-correct. Step 2, get curious about your feeling. If you have a negative emotional reaction, keep in mind that it is automatic, but from there you have a choice. You can choose to feel it, get curious, and learn, or you can run away from it. If you really want to work on building resilience, then when pains come up, don't run away from it. Don't ignore it. When people run or ignore their reactions, their emotions, they then develop unhealthy habits like overeating, what we call by emotional eating, eating too much sugars, too many sweets, taking drugs, drinking too much alcohol, video game, and that is when we call addictions. But these are ways to burn up that reactive energy as opposed to building resilience within you. Instead, what you should be doing is feel the emotions associated with the feeling and give it a word. Name it. When you identify a negative emotion and give it a word, you are connecting with the prefrontal cortex, the front part of your brain. Then blood goes there rather than back part of the brain when we are just reacting without thinking. Once you're operating from your prefrontal cortex, you are then capable of reflecting on what is going on and evaluating. You can then ask yourself, how am I feeling? Is this going to be productive to act on? What should be the best thing to do? How can I self-correct? Choosing self-reflections at times of crisis and change is what strengthens mental health. If we don't use the ability, then our stress level just continue to increase. But finding the right words, name it, define your emotion is so critical. Step 3, find the right words. Generally, when you have a negative emotions, there's another one that you are hiding from. For example, if someone is angry, they are actually feeling the pain or they are afraid. When you say to somebody who is angry, you don't fight their anger. You just say that, are you feeling hurt? I think you are afraid. They might deny it because they're not going to be able to be that vulnerable. The anger push people away. But what they're actually feeling is fear, is pain. The truth is, if they were not feeling fear deep inside or pain deep inside, they will not get angry. The reactions could be more like, no big deal. Let's try to solve this problem. So anger can be a cover-up. It can be a cover-up for hurt, for pain, for sadness, for fear, or disappointment. If you're angry, look for another negative emotions that might be behind it. Give a word to your emotions, explore it, and then give another word for another emotions. You can go deeper by asking, what else do I feel? Why else do I feel this? Once you have named it, you can move on to the next step of building resilience, self-correction. If you're alone, what you can do is just simply journal it. Journal out your feeling or talk to a friend on a phone and make sure that friends earn the right to listen to your emotions. Don't just give it away. Don't just talk to anyone. Not everyone is your best friends. Only talk to the friends that earn the right to listen to your emotions. And when you talk to a friend, let them know that that feeling are coming up, not to act on, but just you want to let it go. A great practice is to think of all the worst thing you're afraid of and get it out, because fear is always in there. Step 4, get clear on your fear and your pain. I would recommend using a journal for this exercise. You can prompt yourself by finishing the sentence, I am afraid. And then reframe it into, I don't want statement. So you might be starting with something like, I am afraid I will not have enough time and money. I'm afraid I will get sick. I'm afraid my family will have to take care of me. I'm afraid I'm a burden to my family. I'm afraid I don't know what my future will be. Then go back and say what you don't want. What I don't really want is to get broke. What I don't really want is to feel lonely, alone at all the time. What I don't want is to get sick and feel bad. What I don't want is to die. Literally, go and find the feeling of what you don't want. From there, you can come back to what is it that you do want and wish for. Remember, where there is danger, there is opportunity. So, step 6 and 7, choose a productive response. Once you create awareness of your feeling, that opens the door for building your resilience. Feeling your emotions, your negative emotions, build your resilience to crisis, because it allows you to shift into connecting with what you do want. When you fully feel your negative emotion, you can shift gears and fully feel the possibility of what you do want. So your next step is to now, with full feeling, focus on what you do want. You can prompt yourself by finishing the sentence, I do want. So you might end up with something like, I do want to live. I do want to be healthy. I do want to be successful. I want to have money. I want to have abundance. I want to have a soulmate. I want to have creative ideas. I want to be courageous and bold. I want to have a beautiful future. I want to forgive myself. I want to forgive my partner. I want to love myself. I want to feel wanted. I want to feel supported and loved. I want to be significant, and I want to feel I matter. Feel what it is that you want without thinking about how you're going to get it. Just put the how on hold right now. Just feel what you want. Just access the part of you that wants more. Then imagine having more and how good it feels to have more. So step 7 is simple. As you imagine having more, affirm with this phrase, I'm a strong, loving woman or man, and I deserve to be loved just as I am. You come back to the basic principle, because when you are loved, people want to give to you. People want to work for you. People want to buy your products. You will have more success in your life. So your productive response start by coming back to feeling that is worthy, the worthiness. And with this gentle practice, you will find your resilience at times of crisis and change. You can come back to your higher self and become more grounded so that change doesn't throw you, but rather focus you towards productive response that change your life for the better. This is the way you build your resilience. Notice your painful automatic reaction. Instead of acting on them, feel them. Name the feeling, name the emotions, and connect with the fear, the pain that is underneath it. Get clear on your fear and on your pain. Reframe them as onto what you don't want. And then you choose a productive response and based on what you do want. Affirm your worthiness. By taking this step in building your resilience, you really step into the whole level of evolution. You are becoming more conscious, being more capable of self-correcting and responding to the needs of others in a productive way. You can apply these simple, practical tools using a paper and a pen. Write them down. I suggest that you write them down. What is the pain? What are you afraid of? Focus on what you don't want, what you do not want. Connect with that feeling. And then when you name it, you know what you don't want. Then reframe to what you do want. What you do want, and focus on the feeling of what you do want. At the end, we are all energetic beings. Tap into the frequency of what you do want, and you will start to attract what you want towards you. I will see you in my next video.